Hey everybody, Matumbo here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more Standard here on Magic Arena. And yeah, what are we doing in Standard? Well, we had a couple of requests of some people wanting us to check out some Standard with all the bans. And you know what? It's been so long since we played Standard, and we know almost nothing about it. We know obviously what's been banned recently. We know that apparently rogues are really good. We know that really the format is wide open. And we also know that one of our favorite cards is still in Standard, so we're going to give this a shot with a bunch of the new cards from the new Zendikar set. So, I mean, why not? Why not mix it up a little bit? You know, it's the middle of the night. We don't normally, we don't normally record in the middle of the night. And so yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to play some Standard. And real quick though, before we hop into today's deck, as always, I'd like to remind everybody just real quick, if you enjoy the channel and the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, check out all the cool links down in the description below, join the Discord, and let us know in the comments what you want to see in a future video, and we'll do our best to make it. And with that being said, let's hop right into today's deck, and we are calling it Mardoom Foretold. And the reason for the name, obviously, is we get to play one of our favorite cards in the form of Doom Foretold, and it is in a Mardu shell, so why not play Mardoom Foretold? And yeah, again, Doom Foretold, I think is a wonderfully designed Magic card. I think it's not super overpowered. I think it's very, very balanced, and it just, to me, is a very pleasing card to play with, and I always have fun when I play it. It's going to be in Standard for quite, maybe like another year at least. So let's give this a shot and see if this is going to be a viable deck. And again, we're playing a bunch of cards from the new set, so we're just going to see how this all comes together. So let's take a look at all of the cards. First off, we are going to be playing 4 copies of Bloodchief's Thirst. So this is a 1 mana removal spell. It does have kicker. It destroys target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 2 or less. So again, note that it does say planeswalker as well. If you kick it, so basically if you play 4 mana, the full cost to kick this, you get to kill any creature in play or any planeswalker in play. The only downside to this really is the fact that it is sorcery speed, but it does have just a lot of versatility, being able to kill small things early in the game or big things later on in the game. So obviously you want to be playing 4 of those. We have a couple copy of Spike Field Hazard again. This is a great early game removal spell. Could be a potential late game finisher if we get our opponent down to 1 and we happen to draw one of these, because this does deal 1 damage to any target. Worth noting, possibly if you do hit a permanent with this, it does exile it when it dies. But also, with this being another one of the cool cards from Zendikar, it does have a land side. So it is one of the modal cards. You can play it as land or you can play as an instant, either one. But this could potentially help us if we do run into any mana issues. One of our new favorite, love this card from Zendikar Rising, is Skyclave Shade. 2 mana, 3/1, can't block, does have kicker for 3. So for 5 mana, it essentially comes into play with 2 counters, making it a 5/3. And on top of it, it has a landfall ability. So when you play a land, if this is in your graveyard, you can actually cast it from your graveyard, whether you cast it as a 3/1 for 2 or a 5/3 for 5. But again, this lets us go on an aggro plan. This lets us also just constantly have a creature that we're attacking with, or it lets us constantly have a permanent in play that we're sacking to Doom Foretold every turn, because we could sack this, play a land, recast it, and then just keep going, keep going. We have 4 copies of Kroxa, basically Uro's potentially, dumb younger sibling. They're both elder giants. Uro obviously is a lot better, but Kroxa does still have a potential game-breaking ability in the fact that it does constantly make our opponent have to discard or they take 3 damage. So this could potentially be just a game changer later on in the game if we do actually manage to escape it back into play and we just get to keep swinging. They can't deal with it. So again, with Uro out of the picture, Kroxa's inherited the crown for now. So we'll see how this goes. Spare supplies. So this is a card I really wanted to try. Typically in the old Doom Foretold decks, you were playing either an Esper shell or an Orzhov shell, and you were playing a lot of different artifact, like the eggs, the food, they come into play, you draw a card, and they just sit there, and then you could sack them to the Doom Foretold. Well, this actually does that. This lets you draw a card when it enters the battlefield, and if you need to, you could just pay 2 mana and sacrifice it again to draw another card. So this is actually a little bit of an upgrade over those eggs. So this is potentially going to allow us to draw 2 cards. And Shatterskull Smashing. Again, one of the dual modal cards. It's got Mythic land on one side that we could potentially play untapped and we lose 3 life, or we get to deal X damage divided as we choose among 2 target creatures or planeswalkers. If we happen to spend 6 or more in the X side, we get to deal twice X divided amongst those 2 creatures. So potentially for 8 mana, we get to deal 16 damage, 12 damage among 2 different creatures. Now, this is a card I wasn't sure about playing. I did have something in here before this, but we're gonna try. I just have a gut feeling about this card. Inscription Ruin. This is probably the weakest of the ruins, but for 3 mana, it really does a lot of good things. So it gets to make our opponent discard 2 cards. So it's basically a mind rot. We can return a creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield. So we could basically get a free. Have them discard with Kroxa. We probably would never do that though, because we just make them discard 2 cards. But we could also bring back a Shade if we don't have a land. But also we get to destroy a target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. So if we happen to have 7 mana, we can kick this and do all of the abilities, but I doubt that's going to happen. But it's something we wanted to give a try to. 2 copies of Treacherous Blessing, because 3 mana to draw 3 cards is great. And this is a permanent. We can sacrifice a Doom Foretold. Timeric Call of the Dead, same reason. This is going to be milling 3 cards. It's going to be feeding our Kroxa. It's also we're going to be able to exile dead enchantments and other creatures from our graveyard to make 2/2 zombies to stay on the aggro plan. We have 4 copies of Bone Crusher Giant, again, because this is great early removal, and then a great body to play right after that. And then again, Doom Foretold. We're each going to be sacrificing things, and we're just going to hopefully control them out of the game. And then on top of that, we are playing just 24 land, but in reality, we are playing 28 land because we do have 4 copies of cards that do let us play them as land. That is our standard deck for today. So kind of interested to see what we do in standard for the first time in so long. And if you guys are interested, please let me know, and maybe I'll play around in standard a little bit more. And who knows? Let's just see what happens. So let's get into the gameplay, and we'll see you at the wrap up. What are we doing? What territory are we heading into? Are we going to get sucked into this format? Or are we going to be able to come out unscathed after playing just a few games? We'll have to find out. We will have to find out. You go first. I don't hate this hand completely. Kind of curious how this inscription is going to play out, honestly. Alright, they're on a mulligan, which makes discard a little stronger. We could just jam this as a land, take 3, Kroxa them, hope to draw a land, and then inscription them. And they'd be down 3 cards. I guess it depends on what they do on turn 1. Yes, it just depends. Alright, Warden Dresden. What are you playing over there? What are you playing? What are we doing? We doing this? The land. It's not the land, but we'll take it. We'll take it. So this lets us not have to play the smashing, so we're playing against rogues. Okay. Playing against rogues. Are all rogue players this slow in standard? I feel like you're probably on the most aggressive deck. You should be able to play at a reasonable pace. Maybe it's not rogues. Maybe it's the mere control. Oh, Demir Mutate. What? This is kind of intriguing, to be 100% honest with you. I want you to discard 2 cards. Or spend a counterspell. So interesting. The mere mutate. Did not know that was a thing in standard. I just assumed black blue, everybody's talking about how good rogues are. Just assumed we were playing against rogues. Again, we know almost nothing about standard. We know that this person is slow though. You did it. Alright, what gets mutated on there first? Yeah, bring the hurt. Come on, my friend. Let's pick up the pace just a little bit. Just a little bit. Come on. Come on, my friend. Just a little bit. Oh my gosh. Are you just going to rope every turn? Maybe it's us that got disconnected. No, we still show. Maybe this draws out an octopus. Right? They mutate onto it because it costs 3. And then that fizzles, and then we have to kicker this one. No, not accurate. I think we're just going to play this out. I mean, this person's playing slow. I feel like playing aggressive is probably the best plan right now. Okay, well, Considering Harvester. Dirge Bat. The dirgest of bats. The Mere Mutate. We're gonna have to try that. I'm gonna make a list. I'm gonna have to make a list. Well, could just do this. Plus one will be a 4/4. Yeah, I guess we'll let that result. Do it to it. We can play Croxa next turn. What is our opponent else could they be playing? So they have Atris, they have Stern Dismissal. We're just gonna go big, right? This person plays slow. You could light the fire under their butts. Come on. Uh-oh. Feel like they might have a petty theft here. But petty theft is fine, even if they bounce Crocs and then they just take 3. I mean, come on, my friend. If you're gonna play Magic. We're here to play Magic. I mean, as soon as you run out of time, I mean... Get some spare supplies going. Oh, perfect. Play it or lose it. Play it or lose it. Oh. They played it. Very nice. Absolutely keeping that. We have all the removal in our hand. Assuming our opponent, again, picks up the pace. This game should have been over 5 minutes ago. There we go. Finally, finally, finally. Sorry the game didn't go your way, but you didn't have to take it on us. You could have already been in another game. Probably done with that other game, too. But good game nonetheless. Alright, so we are game 2 in Standard. We're still going to do what we do. We're going to hydrate. We are hydrating. This person has quite the name. Opponent gets to go first. Why do you get to go first, opponent? Why don't we get to go first? This is a pretty decent, I think. Oh, we're definitely keeping. We're definitely keeping. Do we want to keep this? I think so. Eight or more card. Sure thing, my friend. Sure thing. You are going to get rid of that. And I mean, as much as we want to, we're not going to be bringing that back right now. Yeah, let's leave that on top so they mill it. Counterspell? Counterspell. Sure. Sure thing. Kill that land. Thank you, thank you. That was a good hit. We're gonna get a plains. We don't have a white mana. Oh, we have one in our hand, but we don't need to. Hold on, what? Oh, do we have two? We have two landfall triggers that we can cast that off of. Very confused by that. So we have 7 cards. We're gonna do this now. They can't sack it because we don't have 8 cards in our graveyard, but this might prompt them to waste a counterspell. Sure. Oh, that was a pretty good hit for them, to be 100% honest with you. Get a Croxa. Perfect, right off the top. We're just going to stay pretty aggressive on them right now. We do have to kind of worry about the 4/4 Lord guy that can bring back permanents. Oh, if they don't have a land here. Oh, this is actually pretty good. So this is 7, 6. Yeah, I just think that's a card that they don't ever expect. I mean, this is pretty aggressive. A lot more so than our opponent's side of the board. And that's a good sign that they're sacking their only creature in order to dig. They might have like an extinction event. Okay. So we definitely have lethal here. Three, 4. Yep. Getting that smashing. Oh man. Beating on the rogues. Man. This deck is pretty sweet, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of good synergies. Yeah, this deck is sweet. A lot of control, a lot of good control. the ability to stay aggressive with the shades and the sagas, the giants and whatnot. Yeah. What a name. What a name. Serbinator. Alright, well, we get to go first. This is pretty decent. I think we're keeping. We want another Croxa. I don't think we want another Croxa. That might bite us on the butt on the way back, but see. I have a feeling we're going to be doing this anyway. Interesting. Abzan. Not what I was expecting. Was not expecting Abzan. Get this going. Oh, we whiffed. Oh, we're gonna decline that one. Gonna decline the old exiling Croxa. We're gonna hopefully draw land. We're gonna slam this Doom Foretold. And we can sack the Timuret. Get rid of this Alsaid. We did. Again. You know what? I'm fine with it. We don't have the mana for it anyway. Don't have the mana for it. Let's get aggressive. We don't mind if they like shatter here. Shattering here doesn't really do anything. Conceding doesn't do anything either for them, but it does do it for us. Good game. Well, so far, our first foray into Standard in a while is doing pretty good. Can't complain about that. 3 up, 3 down. That'd be a good inning in baseball. Be a good 10th frame in bowling. Opponent goes first. Maybe Mutombo mulligans first. Maybe Mutombo mulligans first. God, I want to keep this. See what happens. I'm a sucker for hands like this. Ugh. Mono red? Mono red, still a thing. Well, obviously, game, I can't pay 5 mana to kick it, so please don't give me that option. Maybe they don't realize we can't block. Sure thing, my dude. Yep, I think we're exiling this. Coward. Coward. Hit both of these. Pretty good. That's a pretty good turn, right? No attacks, because that way they have to deal with both of these in order to get through instead of just one if we were to attack with the one that doesn't have summoning sickness. It's pretty good. I mean, we're gonna block. I do kind of like that. Get rid of that guy. Don't really need any more white mana. Attacks. If they had another one, they would be smart to play it this turn. Pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Gonna activate our trap card. What is this thing? Well, I guess we're doing this for 4 again. Can't block, right? Wow, what a freaking draw. What a draw. Yeah, we get to scry a couple here, though. That's pretty good. Why is mono red always... Why wouldn't you attack first? I just... This is also a pretty good draw. Do it to it. That can only hit creatures or planeswalkers, can't hit us. You have to remember that. Do like that. So, are you going to be a 5/3? I think you are. Five three seems pretty good. Fervent Champion. I think we have to kill Anax again. I think we have to kill Anax. Yep, and then block with Fervent Champion. Yep, that's good though. We got that out of the way. For them to draw another one. They have a Rimrock Knight. Oh man, these are just like, we're just living the dream here. $21 and $21, how aesthetically pleasing. This deck is actually a lot of fun to play. We don't have to worry about the crazy like power creep level of some of the unfair historic decks. So can't block, can't block. Yeah, about to say we're about to scry, gain, deal all the damage. Wow, this deck is sweet. Ooh, man. 4 up, 4 down. We need to hydrate again. We're so it's taking it out of us. And again, another great name. A great name that I'm enjoying seeing. What land do we play first here? Guess it's just always right to do that, since we have access to all of the colors. Then, ooh, they're shocking in Lotus Cobra. That thing's gonna die. That thing. And is it ever wrong? I don't know. Oh no. Something's just telling me to keep that land. You know, you ever just have one of those gut feelings? It's probably gonna be the wrong gut feeling. So you get to, God, Lotus Cobra's so. Played a 3-drop there. So they're probably playing like crazy Terror of the Peak shenanigans. Probably beneficial for us to go ahead and do this. They discarded an Ugin. Interesting. So they have a Terror of the Peaks in their hand? Yep. Oh, why did I just know that would be a thing? Give us some removal. It's pretty good. Just don't have another Terror of the Peaks. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, you want to do some racing, do you? Oh, you want to do some racing? They don't have 3 blue for a Genesis Ultimatum, which is good. We sack here. I want to keep the yeah, I want to keep this alive so they can only play 1 card, because if we kill that, if we would have killed that, then the Doom Foretold would have gone away and then they could have played the Giant, so we don't want to do that. So yep. Yeah, that would have been bad had we allowed that to happen. Do want to point out we are actually playing a lot later than we normally do. It is super late right now. Luris is this deck. Keep this and find out. Let's just, I think we're going to bottom any land that we see. We'll keep that. Oh, blue-black. Blue-black rogue. Well, I think that's right. I think that's right. I don't know what Sultai cards they'd be playing. Maybe they're just playing this for the dual capability. Luris, huh? Luris. We're gonna help you a little bit. So maybe they cast Luris into the Thieves Guild Enforcer, which is fine. Do we try to cast Croxa? Alright, well, we have all the evens. Just don't exile us. Don't have an extinction event. They might. This is a lot of damage. 10 damage, this is a 2-turn clock. Okay. They have a fight spell? They have a fight spell. I think they might. They play something or they have to discard. Oh yeah, you want to bounce this? That'd be sweet. They're thinking. They're thinking. Discarding. You have to block the 3/1, right? If they counter this, then we can kill the gargoyle, which is fine, but then at the same time, it's tough because they could lure us into gargoyle, which does hurt. That taps him out though. Let's see what they get first. If they lure us into gargoyle, that taps them out. Okay, so they just have another gargoyle. It's fine. And everybody, all of our opponents, I feel like, have just had really great names. Seems good. They're gonna save up this drown in the lot. Maybe he uses Adrenaline Lock now. That'd be actually pretty good if he did, but... Interesting. This is going to help kill the ability for our opponent to attack with this. Also counter with Drown in the Lock. Fine. We have 2. Four. Alright, what do we do here? We definitely kill Luris. So both of those. Oh man, and they scooped. Wow. Couldn't block with the gargoyle because they only had 2 cards in their hand. Man, so good. God, this deck is sick. Are we really about to go into the final boss of our first visit back to Standard to potentially have an undefeated run? I hope we didn't jinx it. We've beaten rogues twice? No, we go first. Definitely a hand. And the animation on some of these lands are so sick. Start the Croxes. Finally, somebody actually was like, I have too many land. I recognize the fact that I have too many land. Playing against Gruul. Might regret playing this as a red, but I'm trying to get to this Croxa. Sure, stomp. You've done it. You're the stomp master. Bone Crusher Giant? Oh. That's freaking awkward. Well, I guess we have to play another one. Yep. We have 5 cards. We need 6. Definitely not attacking. Pretty good. All right, well, let's get in for 11. Well, sorry, 8. $11 was assuming they discarded a land or didn't have a card to discard. They're still very much in this game. Or they're not. Yes. Oh man, the camera went out of focus. It was just as confused that we went 7-0 with this deck. This was sweet. We were gonna drop a Doom Foretold there, force them to sack something, sack our Doom Foretold, play another Doom Foretold, force them to sack something, sack our Doom Foretold, and the whole time just beginning with Croxa. Yeah, this deck is sweet. I recommend it. Oh my god. What happened? Did we break standard already on our first trip back? We went 7-0. That's not something we expected. I feel like we beat a lot of really good decks that we have been hearing about. Obviously, we beat Rogues twice. We beat the Teamer, Terror of the Peaks / Genesis Ultimatum deck. We beat Mono Red. Yeah, and I felt like we just pretty much smashed all the decks. There were a couple close ones, like the second round of Rogues that we played against. But yeah, other than that, I mean, Standard is pretty fun right now. It's actually pretty well balanced. Nothing seems too overpowered. Again, though, I haven't seen crazy cards. I didn't run into any Embercleaves. I'm sure that mono red deck was playing Embercleaves, just didn't draw any. Didn't really get to that point against the Gruul deck that we played against. I'm sure they were playing Embercleave because Gruul always plays Embercleave. That's probably going to be the most powerful card in the format right now is Embercleave. And it's just not a fun word to say when you're trying to dodge it. But yeah, we came back. We 7-0'd. We had a good time. The Inscription Ruins was probably the worst card in our deck. And it still was okay. There's another saga we could be playing. There's a saga that almost does this. Comes into play, kills a creature that costs 2 or less. Maybe even 3 or less.
and then on the second tick, it makes them, we get to look at their hand and we get to make them discard a card that's a non-creature, non-land. And then the third tick, we get to exile their graveyard. That part's not too good, but the cards are almost comparable. And the Saga lets us actually discard to the Doom Foretold, or we get to sacrifice it to the Doom Foretold. So maybe that's better. But this could be a number of cards, and I don't really feel like this is that bad in this deck. Maybe even just a couple, maybe even just some Murderous Riders are probably good in this slot as well. But, I mean, big props to Timuric Call of the Dead and Skyclave Shade for just making this deck just stay super, super aggressive. Also, big MVP to Shatter Skull Smashing. This card just did so much work. This could probably be brought up to 3, and then just 2 of whatever this is. Big props. And then Bloodchief's Thirst is just a great removal spell. It is like almost the new Fatal Push. It's not Fatal Push. I'm not saying that it's Fatal Push, but it's close. It's really good. And again, and it's really weird for me to say, you know, like Standard right now is just at a really, I feel like it's at a really good place. It's not super overpowered. It's not like boom, 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 you're dead. At least we didn't run into that because we were able to control our opponents and what they were doing. But yeah, I might look into more Standard. So if you want to see me play more Standard, or if there's something else that you want to see me be doing, a different format, if you have a deck suggestion, if you want me to revisit a deck with maybe a suggestion on some cards that you would like for me to try out in those decks, please let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. Also, let me know you made it to the end of the video where you heard me say this. And then also, again, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet already. Please hit that like button. Please hit the bell icon. Please check out all of the cool links down in the description below. Please check out the Discord link. That is the most important link. And if you happen, if you decide to, you can check out the Patreon link as well. And again, please, everybody, stay safe. I hope you enjoyed this trip back to Standard and what Standard is now, because it was a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie to you. So stay safe, stay hydrated. We will see you next time. Remember, this channel would not exist without such amazing viewers and subscribers. Thank you so much for interacting with the channel and helping grow the community. And a very big special thank you to the Patreons listed here for supporting the channel.